Afternoon all. Well, the sun's come out for a few rare minutes, so I am testing this solar panel that's got the USB socket on the end, and you can see on the back that the tracks on this board come out here, so I've clipped my DVM leads onto it, and then they simply go into this black box and are connected to the USB lead, except that they're not. And it's really annoying. So we've got 6.8 volts coming out, that's fine. If I go to milliamps, we're getting 340 milliamps coming out. Well, that's good, that's in excess of the rated current, which I think was 330 milliamps. But if you plug anything into this USB socket, nothing happens. And there's absolutely no dip in the voltage. So what appears to be the case is that this lead isn't properly connected inside here, and it's just not connected, it's not doing anything. I mean, don't they test these things before they send them out? It's ridiculous. The panel works, it's fine, but the cable's not connected. Very annoying. Now, of course, I could just cut the cable, strip it back, scrape a bit of the enamel away here and solder it on there to prove a point. I suppose I'm going to have to do that, but I really should contact the seller because you know, this is an item that's just not working. I want to get my little OLED charge adapter to show the voltage and current and all the rest of it, and I can't do it. Now, the reason I bought this is because I wanted to try and make something that was a bit better than this really quite dreadful solar power bank where the blue lights gobble up all the power. So I thought if I bought this with its USB output and then put it into one of these little lithium charger boards with the TP4056 and the battery protection components, ignore the bulb, couple of sockets to put a couple of 18650s in, but then of course you'd also need a little booster to boost the 3.7 volts back up to 5 volts to emulate the 5 volt output of a solar power bank. Now, I found a 2.1mm plug with some very short bits of wire on it, so that's fitted perfectly across the pos and neg terminals, and I've also got a 2.1mm to USB type A socket, so let's see if that's fixed it. It's a little bit sunny. Right, so I've plugged this together, I'm blocking my own light here, and the charge adapter's on, so can I get a shot of this? Yeah, 6.98 volts, power 0.06 watts. Now it was more than that earlier, 0.01 amps. So what's happening here? Well, that's not charging, it was earlier on. Let me try the other power bank. So I've now plugged in the 4-cell power bank, and the charge adapter is saying, well, it's dropped to 4.2 volts, but we've got a watt of power being generated, quarter of an amp. Let's go to the mobile power bank. Well, now that was flashing, but it's now suddenly stopped, and the USB charge adapter is now showing very little power, 0.06 watts, 0.01 amps. So it looks like if the sun dips for a bit, these things say that's not good enough, I'm not charging, and they don't restart again. That's not ideal, is it? Right, well, now I've connected a stupider power bank, slightly dumber version, this very cheap £2.51. That strobing on the LEDs is just something to do with multiplexing. Anyway, under a slightly cloudy sky now, 4.5 volts, third of a watt, and this says it's charging, and it doesn't seem to mind if I blank out the display, which kills the charge adapter. That then reboots back to 1/3 of a watt. So that seems to recover even if the sun goes in and then comes back out again. So possibly this solar panel in conjunction with a dumb charger is a better combination than these intelligent chargers, which get confused when the sun goes in and refuse to continue charging. Now that triangular 3-cell power bank is charging because the top LED is flashing. We've got 4.5 volts, 1.1 watts, bobbing around a bit, 1/4 of an amp, and we have sun at the moment. This didn't seem to be quite so keen to charge when it was overcast, but it seems to be doing it now. So again, a slightly dumber power bank, and this setup does appear to work. Now at 1/4 of an amp, this is going to take a little while to charge because even this power bank says that it charges at 1 amp at 5 volts. But you can get bigger ones of these solar panels. This was the 2 watt, I think, and there is a 3.5 watt. So on the basis that this works, maybe it's worth trying the bigger panel. So now that I've fixed this solar panel, even the LED based charge adapter works. It's very difficult to see outside in the bright sunlight, but that's showing 6.8 volts. But I'm very impressed with this OLED charge adapter. That's very visible. The digits are very small, but that's very visible even in bright sunlight. That's very good. So I think this might be it. This might be the replacement for the rather nasty solar power bank that doesn't work very well. So here we have a bigger solar panel, 2 watts, and of course you can get the 3.5 watt panels as well. Of course you have to find a seller who's willing to sell you one that actually works, but if you get that, you just connect it up to this ultra cheap mobile power bank, £2.80 I think this was, and it is charging. Now, I can't show you this very well because the camera seems to get confused with the multiplexing of these LEDs, but that is stepping up completely normally. If I flip the solar panel over, that thing does 3 flashes to say sort of goodbye, and then if I tip it back a little bit, yeah, that's stepping up again. So it seems to recover from a situation where the sun goes in. So I think that might be it. Now the only thing about this is that you don't get the batteries in the price, of course. So if you want to buy a couple of decent batteries, you're looking at £6 or £7 for those. So I suppose if you look at the overall price of this, about £10, where you do get those 2 flat pack cells, it's a better deal. But this doesn't charge. This is hopeless. It won't charge sitting on a windowsill. So I'm going to put my new version, cheapy cheap mobile power bank, and this 2 watt solar panel on the windowsill and see how we do. So there it is on the windowsill. It's not in direct sunlight, and in fact there is no direct sunlight today. It's quite heavily overcast, and here's the battery box on my desk, and that's charging normally. Actually, you can just about see it now, even with the multiplexing. So I'm just going to wait until that completes its charge, see if this thing behaves itself a bit better than the nasty solar power bank.